All right, everybody, this is our last Excel activity we're going to be doing. Activity 51, car purchase. Okay, I just quickly typed up this rudimentary example for you. Okay, so here's, let's say this is my shopping list for winter skiing this year. Okay, hat, gloves, goggles, skis, boots, pants, helmet, pants, skis. Okay, here we go. All right, so we've always had it set up that we can autofill. So first what I need to teach you about this activity 51 is called absolute cell reference. Okay, so if I were to ask you, what is the hat, $25 plus the sales tax of 6%? You would easily know how to do that. You would just go like this. You would click on this. You would go multiply, and you would click this, right? So just $25 times 6% sales tax, and we know it's $1.50 added on. And then you would know to autofill down, right? Well, look what happens. It doesn't work when you autofill, because remember, autofill tries to understand what you're saying, but it doesn't. So look right here, B3 times H2. H2's up here. Well, guess what? When you autofill down, it's going to say H3. So right here, there's nothing there. There's nothing here for here. Look, goggles, H4. Look, there's nothing here. That's why we're getting a 0. So in order to fix this, you could type 6% all the way going down here, and then this would work, but that makes no sense. Let's just work easier, right? Let's work smarter, not harder. So all we have to do to make an absolute cell reference, and all that means, guys, is when you're autofilling down, like we just did here, all it means is it's always going to use the data in this cell. For this instance, H2. We always want Excel to use the data in H2. Don't autofill down like we have here. Like, look, H7, worthless, because there's nothing in H7, and that happened because I autofilled down. It thought that there'd be data here, but there isn't. So all we have to do, long story short, guys, is just use $2 signs. So whatever cell that you want to, it always use the formula or whatever's in that cell without autofilling down and guessing wrong. Just do a $sign in front of the letter, and then a $sign after the letter. Okay, so $sign in front of the column. So H, it's always gonna be in front of your column letter, and then after the column letter. So $sign H, $sign, and then the 2, and then that makes an absolute cell reference. And now watch what happens when I hit enter. It's gonna, oh, we gotta just autofill again. So look, double check H, $sign H, $sign 2. That is meaning now we want to autofill this down. Watch what's going to happen. It's going to work. Okay, so do a double check. Look, 35. So it's saying B4, $35 times this one, H2. B5 times H2, correct. B6 times H2, correct. B7 times H2, correct, right? Okay, so that's the absolute cell reference. Very easy to do. $sign, column letter, $sign, and then it won't autofill down. Okay, hope that makes sense. I'll be right back, taking a moment here, but we're still continuing on with activity 51, car purchase. Hang on. Guys, I was typing this up, and I just want to remind you quick, remember autofill. It works for just simple numbers like 50, 75, 100, just going by 25, right? Don't bother typing this all the way down to cell 28, right? We're going to 500. Just highlight the 3. 1, 2, 3. Tell Excel, try to give it an idea what we're doing, and then highlight all the way down to 500. Look, did that work? Sure did. Save yourself some time. Okay, hang on. All right, continuing on. All I did was just type number 7. I just typed that formula, and FV, guys, is the future value formula. So why we're ending on this activity is because this is something you could really use in the future when it comes to saving money, okay? So here we have is car savings in years, okay? So savings per month are going down here. So if you were able to save $50 a month, $75 a month, $100 a month, okay, that's going this way. Ooh. Okay, and then excuse me, this is our car savings in years. How much money we will have saved over the years if you could save this much per month. Okay, that's pretty much what it's saying. So look, our percentage rate is 4%. So we have to assume this is a locked in interest rate that you would be receiving if you started saving, okay, because you want to save for a car. And guys, if I can give you any advice, the best thing to do is to save your cash. Do not finance, because you lose thousands of dollars, taking out a loan, and then you have to pay that loan back to the bank, and then they get money on top of what they already lent you, in interest rates. So I recommend, guys, saving up as long as you can with cash and get a car. Okay, so let's walk through this. I'm not going to explain every single little bit of this to you because it's kind of confusing, and this is higher level Excel stuff, guys, that you will be using in college in your finance classes if you happen to take that route, okay? So all I want to explain to you is to see the $C, $, that is an absolute cell reference, right? So what that's referring to is this 4%. So it's not going to move from that 4%. If we didn't have that dollar sign, when we did autofills, it would just want to go down this whole entire column instead of just sticking right there. Okay, so we have dollar signs. That's let me click on this. So see future value. So our rate is 4%. The comma, then NPER is the total number of payments for the loan. Okay, so we want to be going. So we're just going to do the rate divided by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. Then look at this. This is what I want to talk about next. Is the B $8. This is a little awkward. See, we had I taught you earlier dollar sign here, and then the letter, and then the dollar sign. Notice we only have $1 sign, and that's after the B. Because take a look, we want it to autofill to the right because we want these numbers to be used, but we don't want it to autofill down. Okay, so that's why that dollar sign is after the B. Take a look here, A10. See, it says minus dollar sign A10. We want column A. We want these numbers to be used going down, but we don't want them to be used over or anything. We just want them to go straight down. So that's why we have the dollar sign there. Okay, so once you type this in properly, and like I said, this is really higher level stuff. I'm not going to take too much time to explain all this to you, but what it's doing is, once you type it all in, is it's figuring out, so if you have $50 per month, savings per month, after 1 year plus your interest, you will have $611.12. So, for example, if I just take $50 times 12, I get $600. So why is it $611.12? That's because, don't forget, you're getting 4% interest back because you're saving it, okay? So let's autofill this way. Okay, so after 2 years, you will have, if you're saving $50 a month, after 2 years, you'll have $1,200. After 3 years, you'll have $1,900. 4 years, you'll have $2,500. 5 years, you'll have $3,300 saved up at $50 a month. But this is where it gets good. And this is where, guys, now's the time when you're young to really start putting money away because the interest keeps accruing on top of each other, and it's called compounding interest, and then you really start making the big bucks. Look what happens when you fill down. It's autofill. So if you're able to save $500 a month after 1 year, you would have $6,111. That's a lot. After 2 years, after 3 years, oops, missed that autofill there. 4 years, 5 years, okay? After 5 years, if you're able to save up $500 a month at 4% interest, you will have $33,000 saved up. That's pretty impressive, okay? But that's a lot of money a month. But that's what future value is, guys, and I know it's very difficult, but I hope it makes a little sense to show you, the power of saving money with a good interest rate and doing it over the years, okay? All right. That is our last one, Activity 51, car purchase. Hasta luego.